Hi, friends. Greetings to you. I am so excited about this particular session today for our wellness moment with you. Hopefully, you got a chance to just kind of play with the sounds that you heard, get them into your body just a little bit more. Um, yeah, it's going to be a fun session. I am Dr. Camisha Chambers, so excited to serve as the Nurturing Communities Coordinator for All in Community. Our role here in the nurturing space is to do just that, provide some nurturing moments. We are not doctors. Well, hold on. I am a doctor. I have my doctorate degree. I am not a medical doctor. Let me be clear. Um, but even though I don't have a medical degree, a medical terminal degree, I have a lot of friends in that space who fueled me with some research and giving me some good stuff mixed in with my own expertise. And then boom, moments like today happen for you. But we have a lot that we have seen as it relates to our work here in the nurturing space. So it is important for us to know what we've seen, what we've been able to address, what we are within our bounds to do, and then letting you know that we are connected with other experts who can help in other spaces if need be that goes beyond our level of capacity. So I go back. I am not a medical doctor. But if you are finding yourself that are just like, hey, I need some help, we have a team of people who can help. All of our work is suggestive, like suggestions to you. We just want to offer you different tips and tools that may help you. We know that they've helped others. They're scientifically backed, they're evidence informed, and they're customized. It may help you or it may not. And if it doesn't help you, that is totally fine. If it helps you, yes, we are winning out here. But today, so I always have to make sure we put that out there as our disclaimer from All In Community and from myself. We don't want anybody to look at these wellness moments and say, well, I did this and it didn't work. So we just, offer you some solutions, some possible solutions. So let's talk today. Hopefully, those sounds that you heard in the beginning did something for your spirit. I know they always do something for mine. Nature is such a beautiful gift that we are graced with each and every day. What would life be without nature? Man, that's crazy to even think about. Could you imagine going outside and there are no trees or no grass or no like nice beautiful bodies of water flowing, like no birds chirping? I mean, could you really imagine what that would be like? That would be blah. I mean, and so it's in me to really sit with this today and talk about the beauty of nature. Nature is all around us. We function off of it. We live with nature on a day-to-day basis. And it has provided so much help and so much healing for us in so many different ways. We can't even begin to count all of the ways that it has helped us. But let's talk about one particular concept. So, this is a fun thing that happened that I would love to share in this space. So, I have a pastor who is like a spiritual father, who not like, but who is my spiritual father. And we did a complimentary kind of sermonic moment a few weeks ago at church. And he was preaching on the 23rd Psalm. And that's a really, really like important text that a lot of people know. A lot of people have come into the faith with knowing that scripture. Even if you're not a Christian, honestly, a lot of people know that scripture is a really popular text. And so he was preaching on that. And the beginning of it, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restores my soul. I mean, there's a lot of other goodness that's in that text, but I want to hone in on I'm sorry, verse 2 of Psalm 23. And it's taking the time to talk about green pastures and still waters. And so when we look at green pastures and we talk about landscape and we talk about greenery, I have a friend, a really near dear friend to my heart. She has this organization that is all rooted in that's rooted in forced learning for children. And so we had a conversation around a concept known as forest bathing. I know, so good, so good, so good. So, forest bathing, it is a Japanese practice that is a practice of relaxation. And so, let me share this with you. It's called Shinrin Yoku, and it is a beautiful practice where the Japanese culture, they encourage you to really dive into this. Now, these are some of the notes that we have received from just understanding this particular practice. It says to us, it is designed to not have any distractions, and an individual should do it by sitting in green space for a minimum of 20 minutes with no interruption. That means no phone. That means no texting, no calling, no talking, nothing. Just you in green space, just enjoying the atmosphere, enjoying the environment, enjoying what's all around. That's what forest bathing is all about. If we note, Jesus did this often in the Bible. When he would get away, Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane multiple times. He went to the mountain to pray when he needed to. He was in the wilderness. Jesus was around nature and landscape often. That was his way of retreating after. And if you think about it, he was doing a lot of ministry. He was around a lot of trying moments and challenging people and challenging situations. And so it was really important for Jesus himself to renew himself and to revive himself. And parts of what we saw him do was get into green spaces. So why is that really even something important to note when it comes to greenery? Well, of course, we always know science is lingering somewhere around. What happens when we are in green spaces, plants and greenery, they emit a compound known as phytoncides, Phytoncides. This is a compound that's emitted, and that is helpful to us. It helps to reduce stress. It helps our immune system. It helps to boost our immune. It does all kinds of healthy things for our entire comprehensive body. And so when we sit in the greenery space, we're inhaling this compound that's emitted off of the plant. So that's why you begin to feel better when you sit in green space, when you surround yourself by nature. Also, there was something that is important to note. It was soundscapes, which is defined as a collection of sounds perceived in an environment. So, when you are in a particular environment, the natural sounds that are around you are important for our health and well being. There was a scientific study. I don't know where scientific came from, Lord have mercy. Scientific study that went out, and they were looking at it was an environmental science study. They were studying different spaces. And what they did is they took and they compared natural sounds with man-made noise. And they did the comparison on the human body to see what was helpful, right? And how the body reacted and responded in these different environments. And they noted that even with that, there were levels to this, right? So a person who was listening to the sound of birds and um, listening to like crickets and things like that, it did something to help their anxiety and their stress. It brought that down. But when they listen to geophysical sounds like wind and rain, it helped their entire body. Their entire person was healed. So when we sit in green spaces, when we sit by blue waters or involve ourselves in something called blue spaces, which is sitting by water, we know not all water is blue. We can go down to the Ohio River and see that that's not the case. But if you sit by it, though, and if you listen to it, it still produces the same kind of effects because of the geophysical sounds, the way that it is manufactured. It still is helpful when you sit in green spaces or blue spaces. Why? Because it lowers our blood pressure, it decreases our heart rate, it reduces stress, and it even helps to alleviate pain. So when we are connecting in landscape and connecting in green space, we are offering ourselves real-time healing. Like I said, in addition to that, remember phytone signs Phytone sides, Phytoncidess, is that compound that is emitted off of the plants that in turn helps us as humans. So it is recommended truly to be all the way authentic to the Japanese study. They recommend that you are sitting in green space for about 4 hours. We understand not everybody's schedule can permit that, but if you can do a minimum of 20 minutes being out in greenery, you offer yourself real-time healing. So, case in point, if you are dealing with high anxiety, if you are dealing with a lot of stress, if you are dealing with a lot of challenging moments, if you pause for a second and if you go out and if you find a park that's close by, or if you find any particular green space, if you live in a place where you are surrounded by green space, just pausing for a moment and going and sitting in that green space, whether it's on a bench, whether it's actually in the grass, whatever the case may be, if you sit in that and if you sit under a tree and just allow the light to emit through the tree on you, there's so much healing and calm that happens to you immediately. Now, it's not a quick thing where you stress out, you run, you stand in the grass for about 2 minutes, and then you go back to doing what you're doing. No, this takes dedicated, concerted time where you want to just pause, allow yourself to walk slowly through the green space. Allow your ears to hear what's going on, hear the birds chirping, listen to the sound of the wind, listen to the sound of the animals that might be around you. Anything that you can take in from that green space, we encourage you to do so, because what's happening is you're coming out of the stressful state of being, the high stress, the pulsating heart, the racing mind, all of that. You're taking yourself out of that state of being and you're placing yourself into a more rhythmic, calm state of being. That's what happens when you indulge yourself in what they know to be forest bathing. So I'll end on this note here. It is really important for us to note all of the things that are at our disposal. Yes, we believe deeply in therapy. Yes, we believe deeply in subscribing to whatever you and your therapist come up with for your health, whatever action plan you all have, whatever action plan you have with your doctor. But we also understand that you are not going to be able to talk to your therapist 24/7. You're not going to be able to talk to your doctor 24/7. So, in between times of meeting with your therapist, in between times of going to doctor's appointments, it's good to find different ways to help aid us in our daily living. And so, how beautiful is it to know that we've been gifted something that is free? We don't have to pay to go and sit in green space. But we can go and can receive all the healing that we need, and we can go into these green spaces at any time. So take advantage of what's at your disposal. Take advantage of the healing that can come from that. And remember, when you do it, it's no set way of how you do it. Just make sure there are no distractions around you, making sure you're not sitting at a park bench texting people, not listening to music, not talking on the phone, doing none of that. Alleviate all distractions and just allow yourself to connect with nature because there really is healing when you take the time to just sit in green space. It's such a beautiful gift. It's something that we are super, super thankful that we have the opportunity to indulge in. And we'll take the last 30 seconds to just get ourselves back into that space when it comes to relaxation. Have a good one.